We have Oleg Vornik here with DroneShield. Oleg, how are you?
Good, thank you, Christine. Nice to be here.
So you have a very interesting product. It's basically a shield against drones.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
Drones became a large problem in the recent years. A lot of people think of drones as toys, but they're much more than that. They create a substantial threat to security. So if you think of terrorists strapping grenades or toxins to drones, or potentially people flying into prisons with all kinds of contraband, or potentially people flying around airports and creating threat to aircraft, or flying around creating threat to privacy, filming in unauthorized locations. All those are situations where we have a role to play to detect and stop those drones.
Who are some of your customers?
Military, law enforcement, event organizers, various government agencies, infrastructure owners, airports, grids, etc., and also VIPs concerned about privacy are our key customers.
Are there any other products like this in the space that exist now?
It's a very busy space, and we're seeing a lot of noise, so to speak, but we've been in the industry for a number of years now, and we see ourselves as true leaders. A lot of products in the space tend to be what you'd call vaporware, so concepts, but not necessarily real products. And we've been now for about 4 or 5 years. We have leading products, and we're quite proud of what we achieved. So
tell me more about your products. It's called a drone gun.
That's right. We're probably most famous for our drone gun, now in the 3rd generation, called Drone Gun Tactical. It's a rifle-shaped jammer. Rather than firing bullets or nets or other projectiles, it sends a jamming signal that blocks the connection between the drone and the controller, that basically allows for a safe way to land the drone and send it back to where it came from.
And you think this kind of thing could really help prevent a lot of attacks from happening, maybe?
We see a lot of deployments and interest of products like that. So if you imagine a Prime Minister, for example, or Commonwealth Games in Australia, where we're deployed in a drone potentially carrying a dangerous substance, is flying towards the key area that you're trying to protect, all that the security agency needs to do is point the device at the drone, and then the drone effectively either lands or goes back to where it came from. The other product that we have is Drone Sentinel, which is the multi-sensor detection product. It combines radar, radio frequency, acoustics, thermal and optical sensors to detect a drone or swarm of drones, which is also a big threat now. Drones in multiple units coming from different directions. And then it notifies the user in real time about the drones, and then we offer also a stationary version of Drone Gun, which jams the drones at the same time as it's being detected.
Wow, a lot of different products.
For sure, for sure. Well, detection and jamming are basically the key themes that we're offering.
So I know you're expanding into Europe. Can you tell me about that?
We recently had a highly successful demo in Madrid, attended by a high number of government, law enforcement, military, and other customers. And we have installed our first Sentinel hub in Netherlands with our local distributor. We're seeing a lot of interest from various NATO customers right through Europe, but generally speaking, we have distributors today in 50 countries. It's truly a global problem, and we're seeing interest really globally, but Europe in particular has been a key market for us.
So that's kind of like the bottom line of why investors should be interested, is that there's a problem that you are addressing.
That's correct. So in terms of the share price triggers, the key issues or key things that create re-rating triggers for us today are large sales. So we've been making smaller sales today, and we've been improving our products and improving them in response to user feedback. But those large multi-million-dollar orders, which is what we're very much about today, progressing through the tenders, make sure customers are aware of us. And also the other share price trigger, importantly, are things which are completely outside of what we do. So for example, if a terrorist flies with a drone with an explosive into Times Square tomorrow, this will unfortunately create very much a re-rating trigger for us, because we have security against events like this. A lot of customers tend to be, unfortunately, reactive rather than proactive, so they wait for bad things to happen. We're seeing a lot of customers who are proactive, but nonetheless, I think the industry will really speed up even further when, unfortunately, a bad event like this will happen. And we think it's a matter of time before somebody flies a drone into an aircraft, for example, and there's been numerous studies that show what will happen, quite tragic, if you can bring down an aircraft by basically flying a drone into its engine.
Oleg, thank you so much for joining with us today.
Thank you, Christine.